What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review. Today, reviewing another game from the Dark Star Cup finals. This is the America's Dark Star Cup, the one that Darth Noob won, but we're actually VOD reviewing a different POV here. We're VOD reviewing Wasianiverson, because, I mean, this guy's the GOAT. He had a very solid performance. Obviously, making it to another final lobby is just nuts after he almost won the last one. Soju just barely denied his four-peat of cups, which is something that, I mean, I honestly think the fact that last set he won 3 cups in the same set is something that we might actually like never see again for all of TFT's history, just because it's so crazy to be able to do something like that. And so I feel like Wasian's still doing, you know, fantastically well this set, making, you know, 2 final lobbies, and so we got to review him. Important thing to start the game is we are in the mountain here, so he's actually prioritizing holding onto these Stargazer units. Very likely that we would play the mountain into some kind of Xayah game, and we do have the cloak open for Kraken here, but it doesn't end up being that simple. So Anima Commander, high voltage, 2 tanky. I think Wasian sees Anima Commander here, and I mean, it's a very good augment to potentially play for win out, but it's also very griefable, and he also sees this Calc Loss player, so he immediately rolls that. He thinks a little bit about the rightmost augment here, 2 tanky, but then, you know, his items are actually okay for it, but he sees Legion of Threes. And Legion of Threes is actually a huge pickup here for a kind of funny reason, is that we are in the mountain. And so we're going to be able to print emblems for free, essentially. Now, had we got something that made a lot of sense into a Xayah board, we could just play Xayah very easily. If we got something that made sense on the Lulu board, we could play Lulu very easily. However, we get Shepherd, which is not very straightforward into either of those boards, so we do kind of have to figure out what our game plan is. Now, of course, we're going to get 3 Stargazer in, try to farm up those emblems, and, you know, no matter what comp we play, as long as we farm up, I mean, if you farm up 3 emblems, you can always fit 3 Stargazer in. Even if you farm up 1 or 2, you can always field like a couple of Stargazer units and get it in. You know, it's pretty easy to fit like Nunu in onto a Shepherd board, so a lot of stuff going on there. There also is someone else, Travis here, who is in check in this spot here and has Earth plus the mountain, which is just an absolutely insane setup as well. Any setup where you can be mountain, print these emblems, then take an augment that says, you know, the more emblems you have, the better. It's really, really good, because these augments are not balanced around the fact that you're able to print emblems. You know, this augment, Legion of Threes, is balanced around the fact that you'll have, you know, 1 emblem, maybe another 1 or 2 if you get like something crazy, like, you know, this into Trait Tree or something. But never a situation where you can take this emblem here and then print a bunch more emblems and just be an insane spot. You can see the entire lobby actually just playing this early mountain, just saying, you know, mountain is really, really good for Xayah if you can reach that that super, super high cap of, you know, reaching up to the 7, the 8, the 9 mountain. You know, crazy if you can get all the way to 11. Cosmic Hex here, you could actually consider it, and then just start... we do have the jacks, right? So you could start stacking up jacks. He's just going to grab the random boon here, with the idea that we're not going to lock into Stargazer here. I think this makes a lot of sense. Like, Wasian's seeing this lobby, he's like, there's so many people playing Stargazer, the more we scout, that it's going to be tough for us to play that. We do get the Lulu, though, so now, you know, you could still think about it, and we have decent Lulu components, but I think these units are just so contested. There's so many people who have more reasonable lines into these type of comps that I think Wasian, not somebody who likes to be like super, super contested in a spot like this, so he's just going to say, you know what, I have the Shepherd emblem, I can play this into a vertical Shepherd game, which is very strong. Once again, similar to the vertical mountain, it's like, if you can get there. If you could reach 7 Shepherd, this line has a very, very high win rate. He's going to check Arbiter here, and he's going to go for max health shield, but yeah, I mean, not too interested. You know, he could just fit this in as like a random econ option if we had a good one, but you know, not really the case for that. Also, he's kind of trying to grief, but he also knows that, like, I mean, that Anima, there's no way to really grief that without cutting out a lot of good stuff. I mean, you'd have to essentially like sell it to Stargazer, have a really, really rough spot. We do end up actually not fighting Darth Noob here, which is really, really good. So we're actually pretty healthy, right? 72 HP, 5 losses, not the worst, and we're obviously going to get our Stargazer, and we're also going to get our item anvils here, which is really going to have to commit us towards whatever line we're playing, right? We need to start making slams here and kind of figuring out what our actual game plan is here, which I imagine is going to be into this Shepherd line, but we'll see here. It's also like Legion of Threes does benefit you playing 3-cost units, but I don't know that there's any kind of like Shepherd reroll line that we want to play in this spot. Obviously, like the Victor line fits Shepherd in, but that just fits a pretty easy 3 Shepherd, so there's not really much to do from there. Yeah, I mean, I guess we can wait. We can wait 1. I do love the 3-1 wait here. I've been preaching this for a million years. Just say, I mean, no need to slam items this round. We're about to go into Augment here. And we're on a 5 loss anyway. If we take something like an item grab bag, that could drastically change the slams that we're going to make here. So we might as well wait 1. Fight Darth Noob anyway, who, by the way, look at this Calc Loss Anima setup. I mean, that's why he's the world champion. That's why he won. And here the game really starts to get out of control in a good way, in a bad way, who's to say? Wasian sees Cosmic Restart. Now, they nerfed this Augment. It's still very, very high power. 2 emblems, 8 free shop rerolls is a lot of value. And so Wasian, I mean, you know, not someone who's afraid of going for something a little bit woke here, is going to take it, and he gets Voyager Timebreaker here, which is really kind of crazy. There's a lot of good stuff here. Actually doesn't hold on to the first couple of... Yeah, he's not actually holding on to a lot of these Timebreaker units, but does roll down a decent bit here, gets the Voyager in here, really wants to get back into Stargazer so he can continue farming here. And yeah, actually manages to farm to put down a pretty strong board. He even gets Shepherd in. So yeah, and the 2 Timebreaker, not quite 3 for the econ, but 2 Timebreaker for just some board strength here. Yeah, actually ends up making a very interesting board here, actually. Opts to take the Void Staff here, and then what are we making here? Just GS? I mean, seems decent enough. Ooh, we do get the Might. Wow, there's a lot of good stuff here. We got Mighty Mech. We also get a Lowy here. Yeah, he's like, okay, here are all the Shepherd units. Got to throw those into Planner here, and then Nunu will probably play, and then like low-key, that might just be the board is the game plan, which honestly, it makes a lot of sense here. But yeah, he can look at making another slam here. It probably has to be Gargoyle, right? Oh, he's gonna make Declaw. Okay, Declaw, and then hold the glove open here. All right. How IP heavy is the lobby actually? I guess not super. Also, oh my God, Travis here, by the way. The spat plus the Z augment is obviously really scary. Did he wait? Actually, I want to go back and see Travis's board here because I do not know. Okay, so yeah, he does have the. He's not going to be able to make it to like Meeple Spat or anything like that. He has slammed Stargazer Spat, I believe. Yeah, I mean, he has 2, so he must have. So we're not going to end up in a world where he gets like Meeple Spat and just wins the game on Zed, which by the way is actually, I looked at the patch rundown today. Meeple Spat is being changed, so it will no longer be broken on Zed next patch. So hey, that's something cool because that Zed stuff was kind of broken. See Storm Hex here. I mean, you see Storm Hex, click Storm Hex. That's just TFT. I mean, that one is just so strong. As long as you have anybody who can proc it later, you could fit a random Zai onto your board, a random Jin onto your board. Even Karma's, you know, not a bad unit to just, you know, stun a few units with Storm Hex. So you can even low-key throw it on Talon, though I don't know how long Talon's going to stay onto our board. But he's an okay unit to proc as well because he just jumps around and stabs everybody. For now, I think it's going to be in the bottom left corner here onto the Karma here. And yeah, it's just gonna go there. He thinks about putting it second, like 1 hex from the left there, which is interesting. Maybe just keeping the option open of seeing like an acceleration hex or like Starlight hex or something like that. Maybe. In any case, we're gonna fight this pretty weak show board from David Ace. Is still quite far from his stuff. He's in that awkward. I was gonna say awkward treasure hunt spot, but it's not even that awkward. Yeah, I don't actually know. We did manage to get 3 Timebreaker onto this board. I mean, it's just it's not that bad to fit on this board. We're still playing, you know, the Pantheon for the Replicator. Ezreal is just 3 Timebreaker, but our boards seem to be pretty expensive, and we'd love to make it to 9. If we can win fights like we did last fight with 3 Timebreaker in and farm some EXP, that is amazing news for us because that is how you win games with this line, is you actually reach level 9. We do barely lose this fight, definitely a Timebreaker diff, but we get the rerolls out of it, so not the end of the world, and 56 HP is not super low. But we need that econ because we're no econ augment here, right? We are like negative econ augment in that, you know, Cosmic Restart. It doesn't cost you gold, it sells the units, but it does cost you gold in that you have to rebuild your board. So that's kind of something that happened here. 1 anvil for us. probably, I mean, it's technically on interval here, but it seems really hard to level this round and roll, just because we're gonna be super broke here. And his items end up so awkward. I guess you're making JG here and leaving Bo open for red buff, but I mean, actually, maybe it's just Guinsoo and you play for, actually that makes a lot more sense, Guinsoo, and play for the LeBlanc, and then that even leaves Steadfast open as a potential option. You can also hold the chain for Sunfire, so a lot of possibilities here. Gonna take another loss here, might have to 4-2 it, just not that it's on interval, but we kind of need to for HP here. Last augment here, you'd love some econ. Staffsmith is hard to pass up, but this might even be the one spot where you never pass it up. Okay, GG's. I mean, we have a decent amount of AP items, but this could be, we do actually get the Morello. So yeah, this could be Morello, this could be frontline items. There's a lot of good stuff here. But yeah, now we're gonna roll down for the kind of board that Wasian wanted to fit. Ends up actually hitting the 2-star Galio here. This is where just being good at TFT, which is not an easy thing to do, really comes in, is just kind of like figuring out on the fly that we're going to play around Galio as our front line here, which makes sense, right? We just fit 4 Voyager in here, fit the LeBlanc in here, fit just all of this stuff in here, and get to the 5 Shepherd for now until we can actually, you know, reach the 7 Shepherd once we find the Sona. I mean, it's just a really cool board to stabilize on. We fit the 3 Stargazer in very easily. Don't have to play much more than that. Honestly, we feel just pretty good about the fact that we have these extra spats that we can put onto these units here. And he's also still rolling. I think this makes a lot of sense from the perspective of like, we're 45 HP, we're not super healthy, we can't really coast to 9 here, and we're also super paired up in this spot here. Lysandra, or LeBlanc pair, I mean Lysandra pair as well, actually, is real, though not the biggest one, but LeBlanc pair and Karma pair here are huge. If we can hit either of these, this stabilizes our board really hard here. So Wasian is just going to kind of donkey roll, look for these upgrades, and just try to find every single thing that we can get here. Gonna take random boon over Solar Hex there. Wow. Huh. Oh yeah, no, because he got the Morello off the thingy, right? He hadn't made it, but then he got it off the thingy. So yeah, he doesn't need it at this point. He has the Morello that he got off Staffsmith here. So is just gonna take this. Means that we're gonna end up on the Thresh boon, which could be a good or bad thing. Honestly, the gold hit is pretty good here. We do find the LeBlanc 2. Also opts to play Lulu on this board. Wait, this is really sick. And then finds the Sona. So now he's going to have to swap his board around again, drops the Karma, and does reach 7 Shepherd. So he has now been able to put together a pretty, I mean, it's actually almost straightforward at this point here. It's just 7 Shepherd plus the Nunu plus some other friends on this board. The Galio, obviously, really nice on this board so that you actually have some frontline to play around. And that's actually it. It's just Galio plus the Nunu here. Makes sense. We're gonna roll down, pick up Karma 2 here, which is an upgraded unit, but not one that we can actually play unless we want to drop out of, say, Nunu. I mean, low-key, you could wait till you farm your next Stargazer stat and then drop Nunu. I wonder if that's what he's thinking of doing. That'd be a crazy call. But it makes a lot of sense. This is also another crazy fight. Very close. Oh, we just barely lose it. That actually really sucks, because if we could have won that fight, I mean, it's a lot of HP, a lot of just allowing ourselves to chill. He's going to take basically the first option that he gets here. And yeah, these are Karma items. He's going to fit the Karma onto the board. Now we are 3 Stargazer spats. So we don't actually, I mean, I talked about this at the start, is we don't actually have to play a single real Stargazer unit here. Interesting as well that he's not going to Stargazer spat the Sona here, saying I'd rather put real items onto her. I thought I was going to go into her just for the Legion of Threes value, but yeah, he just wants to do this so that he can get extra value there, like get all of the utility items onto Sona, because Sona's a really good holder of util. Honestly, it makes sense here. The Shepherd Emblem pretty good onto the Karma for a little bit of mana gen, and now we have the 7 Shepherd board online with this Karma 2, with this LeBlanc 2. Our board's actually really strong at this point. The only downside is we are broke. We are incredibly broke in this spot here, and we need to make it to 9. To truly cap out, because we have a pretty good board for now. And he's actually going to move Voyager spat up here to, yeah, I can't put it onto the Meepsy because Meepsy's a Voyager, but we can put it onto the Alawi here. I mean, she's already getting Legion of Threes values by the fact that she's a 3 cost, but he's just saying, I'd rather actually have more frontline than backline here, and so I want this on the front line. Now, here is where it gets scary, right? We're fighting something like Robin, who has a fast 9 board, really close fight, but we're just barely going to lose, and these are the boards that we are going to potentially lose to. are the people who have reached 9 and actually capped out their boards here, because we had to roll such a long time on 8. We've reached a lot of good stuff from our combat augments, but no econ augment, keeping us kind of capped here at level 8 is not very good. So we really just have to survive, make it there. The problem is, look at Travis's spot. Travis managed to make it to level 9 here, managed to find Z2, and has the Stargazer emblem onto him. I mean, we're never able to beat this guy, so that fight is really, really rough. And we dropped down to 8 HP here. This is where I think Wasian gets very, very scared, because he's like, oh my god, I could actually like die in this spot here. And I know most TFT players of Wasian's caliber, you know, are not you know, susceptible to being scared in spots like this. You know, they are confident in their board strength and know, you know, they got to do what they got to do, which is why Wasian uses free rerolls, uses I think one more, and then it says, I'm gonna sit here. I'm Sona paired here, but the odds of hitting Sona 2 on 8 are so low. I'm just gonna hold the line and say, if I can win these next 2, I can make it to 9, I can hit Sona 2, and I can potentially win out the lobby. And in checkmate, that is everything. And we do beat Liscoco here. Also, look at this, man. We win this fight. Travis, Liscoco, and Wigbug die here. So it's actually a top 3 for Wasian, and he could roll here. Small chance of hitting Sona 2. Could maybe even hit the Nunu 2 for some extra frontline, though I don't know how it would even go onto the board. You'd have to cut out the Karma, I guess, again. But he's gonna say, I'm gonna hold the line here, and if I can win this fight, I'm fighting clone, I can actually make it to 9 and like truly cap high enough to you know, potentially win the lobby here. It's an incredibly close fight versus this board. This is the clone here, but we just barely lose, and it is a top 3 for Wasianiverson. Such a close game, honestly, and one where like low key, if something just slightly different happens, if the items are slightly different, if we just save a little bit of HP in one of those other fights, we would actually, you know, win this fight. Or even if we had just saved a little bit of HP, any other fight, you know, surviving this fight, we actually could have made it to 9, and it could have potentially been, you know, a top 1 if he had reached level 9, hit the Sona 2, and actually capped out high. So yeah, I thought this was a really fun game to show off this 7 Shepherd line, especially, and the power of this Legion of 3s with the Mountain. It was just such an interesting line that I think so many people would be like not interested in even just like thinking about this. They would just take some kind of bedge line or play this into something a lot less straightforward here. But you know, he ended the game with 0 Stargazers on board, but he just has the easy 3 in here for the extra strats and really for the extra emblems for Legion of 3's value. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check my Twitch. I have taken the last few days off because Monday and Tuesday are usually my off days, but I will be streaming tomorrow on Wednesday starting at 8 a.m. Pacific time. And streaming throughout the rest of the week here. New patch, not tomorrow, or today, as this is coming out on I always record these night before, so Wednesday. New patch not coming out Wednesday. It is coming out on Thursday, because Monday was a holiday in the US, so gotta wait on that for one more day. The new patch is actually looking very, very interesting, and tomorrow's VOD review will very likely, you know, Thursday morning will be a VOD on the new patch that I VOD review late in the night from like 8-pack or something like that. So yep, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching as always. Bye-bye.